on Africa. I'm Wahid Maura. We begin in Libya, where thousands of people remain missing as rescuers struggle to get to Derna, the city that's hardest hit by the devastating flood. Now, the mayor of the eastern Libyan port city of Derna estimates that the death toll could be as high as 20,000 based on the number of districts that were destroyed by the floods. The United Nations World Meteorological Organization now says that most of the deaths could have been avoided if early warning and emergency management systems functioned properly in Libya. Rescue teams arrived from countries including Egypt, Tunisia, Italy, Spain, and Turkey. The International Committee of the Red Cross has also begun distributing food, medicine, and other vital supplies to the affected communities. A UN official has told the BBC that both governments have put aside their differences. They're working together by coordinating relief efforts of those who've been affected. Now, Libya has been ridden by lawlessness for more than a decade after the fall of long-serving ruler Muammar Gaddafi back in 2011. Since then, the country has been split between two rival governments, one based in the capital, Tripoli, in the west, and another in Tobruk in the east. The country remains marred in conflict between numerous militias. Well, we want to get more understanding of the situation now. We are joined from Mumbai by Raghu Mutugude, who's a professor at the Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, but also an emeritus professor at the University of Maryland. But we are also joined by Stephanie Turko-Williams, who's a non-resident senior fellow in the Center for Middle East Policy, and who also recently served as a special advisor on Libya to the United Nations Secretary General. The both of you, thank you for making time for Focus on Africa. Stephanie, I'll start with you. There's been a lot of reporting about the situation in and around Derna, the city that bore the biggest brunt of these floods. Do you have a sense of what's happening in other towns and cities in the eastern parts of Libya?
Thank you for allowing me to speak about this terrible tragedy that's happened in eastern Libya. And you're right. It's true that the focus has been on Derna, and the greatest loss of life has been in that port city. But there are also other towns in eastern Libya, including Beida, including Susa, which is just up the coast. You have small towns like Kubba, and many, many other towns which have been afflicted and are also in need of urgent humanitarian and life-saving assistance.
Professor Raghu, even as the world and the community around there take stock of what's really happened over the last couple of days, focus is turning to what caused this, with a call for proper investigations to be carried out. Your thoughts on what needs to be done to get to the bottom of this, to ensure that something like this, at least of this magnitude, never happens again?
This is a good question, and it's a good idea to investigate, but we should remember that this is really kind of a once-in-a-lifetime event with a very high intensity.